plagued all the black-born women. Even her mother Agatha, who had married into the family, hadn't been quite right. Apparently, mental instability attracted black-born men. Motherhood hadn't suited Agatha. The scarce memories Chelsey had of her were not fond ones. When Chelsey was 3, Agatha had fallen off the roof, to her death. At least, that was what Henry said. Now older and wiser at age 11, Chelsey strongly suspected that her mother had purposefully thrown herself down, wishing to die. Agatha's death had turned Henry cold and standoffish. Chelsey, meanwhile, hadn't been dismayed. They hadn't liked each other, and so she had no reason to mourn her mother's passing. Since then, Chelsey spent her days confined to the house or languishing in its sizable gardens, as her father locked himself in the study. Her only company was her tutor, Miss Iverson, and Sarah, the wretched maid. Chelsey utterly disliked dowdy old Miss Iverson, who constantly pestered her to polish her pianist skills. But she outright hated beautiful, perfect Sarah. While Miss Iverson was only the latest in a string of tutors, few lasted long with Chelsey, Sarah had been a near constant presence and enemy for over 4 years. Sarah worked at the estate 3 days a week, and as much as Chelsey tried to ignore her, there was something about the servant that captivated and enraged her. Sarah was 19, and much prettier than Chelsey, which seemed woefully unjust considering that she was also much poorer than Chelsey. In spite of how far the Blackborns had fallen in high society circles, they were still undeniably privileged. Utterly unlike Sarah, who toiled away as a maid for 3 different households 6 days a week. Once, Chelsey asked where she lived, and the maid confessed to residing in a small row house, cramped with several younger siblings and a sickly mother. Sarah was a pitiful creature burdened with a difficult life. The sole advantage she held over Chelsey was her looks. Sarah was undeniably beautiful, and Chelsey was indescribably jealous. Chelsey had first noticed her unfortunate features at age 10. Prior to that, she hadn't thought much about her pudgy belly, frizzy hair, and buck teeth. She rarely registered her broad nose, too far apart eyes, and dull brown hair, until one day she looked in the mirror and realized that she didn't look anything like the fairies illustrated in her storybooks. Fairies were dainty and delicate. Stubby Chelsey resembled the depictions of witches. Sarah, however, was tall and slim, with long blonde hair and bright blue eyes, the incarnation of loveliness. One day, Chelsey had been in town with her father on a rare outing to the curiosity shop and heard a group of young men whistling and shouting. Several stable boys were desperately vying for the attention of Sarah as she hurried down the street, wicker basket in hand, obviously